Last week, we told you about a ruling out here in California where the Labor Commission said an Uber driver was an Uber employee, not simply a contractor. It's a case with potentially big implications for the very business model of the sharing economy that we talk about all the time.
When this started into a lot of excitement about the promise of the micro entrepreneur, you could build a brand, you could build a clientele, you could hustle, use your managerial skills to hire other people. You could be a small business owner. And there were people that were really excited about that.
We had the big promise of equality. We heard from so many folks, ranging even from economists at Berkeley and Stanford, that the internet was leveling the playing field. Anybody, a couple of people with 2 computers in a garage could come in, knock off Google, knock off Microsoft, knock off any of the big players.
You could build a brand, you could build a clientele, you could hustle.
We really need to level this playing field, but the only way we can do so is if we resist the utopian rhetoric that says, oh, the market will take care of it all, or these companies all have our best interests at heart, etc., who are at the heart of the internet.
When we look at how it's being implemented, and that is the operating system for 21st century capitalism, this economy, which means no one has any job security. Everyone's working these part-time jobs. We're all becoming 1099 employees. No one has any worker rights anymore.
Yeah, hi. I've actually been driving for Uber for roughly about 20 months now. It looked like a legitimate business opportunity. That's how Uber was actually marketing it, trying to get in people with grand claims that you can make this much. So I actually did buy a car. We would try to be what they call a partner that can hire other people. I actually did spend thousands of my own money to try to get permits because it was illegal for Uber if you don't have the proper TCP or airport permits. And they just kept lowering the wages more and more and more. In the beginning of 2014, it went from an $8 minimum to a $5 minimum that they called a promotion. Now it's something that I've been trying to get out of doing for months. And it's something, I took on all this extra overhead. It's kind of being trapped.
You could build a brand, you could build a clientele, you could hustle, use your managerial skills to hire other people. You could be a small business owner.
We are continually selling ourselves, our services, our brands, and personal networks become the most valuable thing of all. Reid Hoffman, the founder of LinkedIn, has just written a best-selling book called The Startup of You, which suggests that everyone is essentially a startup, and the best way to build value in that startup is to invent and reinvent yourself and build these strong networks. Mm-hmm. We are all essentially 21st century firms with the same challenges of survival, of competition, of inventing and reinventing ourselves. And
well, what do you say, Trevor, to people who say, that's unfortunate, but you made a bet and it didn't pan out?
And I guess there could be something to that, but it comes to trusting. Every time I've made a decision to try to invest in this company, weeks later the earth shifts under me. And there's just no stability to this. By just chewing up and spitting out people, you're actually getting rid of the people who were taking this seriously, who know the city, who actually take some pride in it, who take care of themselves and their car and their passengers and safety, and you're just going to the next cheapest option. They're bringing in new people who are less trained and know the area.
Sounds like what you're describing is a kind of race to the bottom.
Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying.
In San Francisco, we have Zazzi's, which is this amazing, little brunch spot in Cole Valley where the restaurant owner just, has decided to give her workers pension, to give her workers health insurance, to give her workers $15 an hour. There are viable, socially responsible business models that exist out there.
That's great, and if you're right, that cafe will thrive, and we'll all be happier, and we'll see if it spreads. And you are free not to take Uber if you feel it's an exploitive technology that is currently oppressing its drivers.
Well, today, Instacart. That's a grocery delivery service, is making some of its contractors part-time employees.
The result?
Our shoppers got more accurate picking items. We had more on-time deliveries.
Because Sol says it's easier to train and supervise employees. The downside?
We are going to incur workers' compensation, different payroll taxes like unemployment, Social Security, and Medicare.
That's why other companies like Uber and TaskRabbit have so far avoided that approach. But for Instacart, the old designation will do just fine. The company is also converting its Chicago-based personal shoppers into part-timers and plans to do the same in other cities too.